Live from Pacific Junction Hotel, Girth Radio.
Thank you for coming in.
No problem. I'm really excited to talk about stuff.
Comics
and stuff.
Comics and stuff. Yeah, that's we should do a podcast called Comics
and stuff. It would be a huge hit.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love comics and stuff?
Yeah, everybody likes stuff and comics.
I like both those things.
All right. Let's start on one of those aspects, and I want to focus in on Robin.
On Robin. Excellent.
Yeah.
My favorite superhero. This is fantastic.
Yes. This is why I bring it up, because that's a good way to kind of introduce you. So, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Why Robin?
I think Robin because when I first got into superheroes, I was like 8 or 9. And Robin's like only like 12 or 13 or 16, whatever you're reading. So you're like, Robin's like, you're in. You're like, you could be Robin when you're little. And as I grew up, I really respected the guy because he fights the same guys as Batman, but he's like 90 pounds and wearing a bright yellow costume. I'm like, I think this is more impressive than what Batman does.
And you're talking about like Dick or which Robin?
My all-time favorite's Tim. I mean, most stuff is Dick.
Tim is the best one.
Tim is the best Robin.
Yeah.
Everybody should know this, right?
Right.
Tim is the best Robin. Dick's a really good Robin.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim's the best Robin. Yeah, I think Tim is the smartest Robin. He's the most like me, and then he just follows the rules, and he's not impulsive, and he thinks things through. If I was a Robin, I'd be Tim.
He likes stuff too.
He loves stuff. He loves nerdy things. He likes history and hacking, and yeah, I think he's the Robin of the modern age. And Dick is the one that none of us will ever be, because nerds will never be acrobats.
Yeah, it's a tough act to follow. But what about Jason? Did you vote to kill him off, or
Jason was long dead by the time I started reading comics. Well, long dead, like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to speak for Jason.
I was reading Batman at that time, so I was glad that he was gone.
Did you vote to kill him?
I didn't know because it was only available in the States.
Oh, yeah, we're Canadian.
Yeah, that's the...
Okay, so
I know, we didn't get to participate in the death of a Robin. I'm like, come on.
I'm not sure if I would have killed him, only because I think Jason is like one of my least favorites. I mean, he was my least favorite until Damien. I hate Damien. But I don't know if I would have voted for him because I'm really nervous because I would be worried. I'm like, well, if I vote to kill Robin, will I get a new Robin? I probably would have been worried that there'll be no more Robins if I vote to kill him. But I would have voted him off if it was like an American Idol Robin style.
Yeah. Damien's worse, because spoiler, Stephanie Brown, she was, it's got retcon now, thank God. Mm-hmm. It's still with me, though.
You still think of her as a Robin?
Yeah, because the problem when you retcon something is I still read it.
Yeah, I still have this book. It didn't get, you didn't come in, DC didn't come into my house and steal all my comics.
Yeah, and the memories. It didn't happen. Yeah, so I'm like, it doesn't help me much. She was the worst Robin to me.
I did not like her as Robin. I agree.
We would have 1-800 called her and crowbar the whole bit.
They did kill her eventually, 6 months later. I think didn't Dan Didio even say she wasn't a real Robin? That's why she didn't get a case in the memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she didn't get a vault case when she died. Yeah.
Good.
She wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't a real Robin. I really started to like Stephanie in the new 52 lately. I think she's been good.
Nope.
And I liked her when she was spoiler. I did not like her as Robin at all.
No. She's just been DOA.
You've never liked her? Never
no,
been
not
Stephanie?
as spoiler, not as Batgirl even.
I didn't mind her as Batgirl. I mean, no one was ever going to be a better Batgirl than Barb.
Right. But at the same time, though, there's kind of a, I don't know, maybe it's a nostalgia thing, but it's just when Barbara was Oracle, that was such a good
Barbara was Oracle.
You don't want to sacrifice the Batgirl thing because she is the best Batgirl, but at the same time, you don't want to give up the Oracle, and you need the whole wheelchair thing and nerd thing, that whole setup and the little giant clock tower.
It's hard. You kind of want to have it all. I want a storyline where Barbara gets cloned, so we can have a Barbara Batgirl and we can have a Barbara Oracle.
Oh, there you go.
who's in a wheelchair? I think that would be peak DC. If you're listening, that's free. You can have that. I won't even charge you.
Yeah, because it is kind of lazy and kind of cheesy to have Batwoman and Batgirl.
Oh, no, that's fine. Whatever. We got, I mean, just because, the other guy Batmans don't call themselves Bat something. I mean, Robin and Nightwing and Red Robin are all still just Batman Light, which is what Batgirl is to Batwoman.
Fair enough. Do we have to do any shout out for Carrie Kelly? She kind of gets an honorable mention as
I always give her an honorable mention. I mean, she has so little comics to work with that like it's hard to be like she's bad or good. But considering
she was pretty cool in what
she
she
was
did
pretty
show
cool.
up.
Yeah, for a woman who just like waltzed into the back cave was like, I took a lot of gymnastic classes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess that's pretty dope.
Yeah, she got a nice little partner hair.
She's got a lovely little partner hair. I was so confused about. Were you confused about why the Robin in the Lego Batman movie looks like Carrie Kelly, even though it's Dick?
Yeah, I guess they just I don't know, maybe they just combine stuff or like.
I guess it was just such a weird choice. The Carrie Kelly glasses on a Dick Grayson Robin. I'm like, oh, is Dick nearsighted now?
Yeah.
This new Lego
That's
version?
gonna make the trapeze a little awkward though.
Ooh, you should get LASIK.
Yeah, because if you can't see, then I'm like,
You're
I'm
not
not
gonna
really.
be fighting a lot of crime.
No, I'm not really comfortable with this whole arrangement. Like, you gotta catch people too with trapeze.
Well, how do you feel about Robins though? Because I'm usually very alone in my Robin love.
No, I'll give after all the time and everything, I'll give it to you. I think Tim is like the gold standard now. I think
We're gonna get along just fine.
but obviously Dick, he is like the second. Like he's up there, I guess, with Tim. Like I don't know if it's maybe like it might be even, but yeah, totally. Like Jason needs to go. I was around for some of that Jason stuff, and I did not like him, and I was happy with the Joker's work.
Great job.
Yeah, I. Thank you, Joker.
Thank you, Joker. Although it did later years, Under the Red Hood is a really great storyline. So
yeah,
eventually, when he's just an adult with guns, I'm like, oh, okay. When you're not a Robin, this is acceptable.
With the bat symbol on the chest too.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird and like.
What are you gonna do? He's a jerk.
But as for Damien, it depends who's writing him. I find. Some people make him a little bit more jerky.
Oh, I think everything I've read is people just making him a bit more jerky then. Because I honestly can't even pick up a comic book with Damien in it anymore. It's painful to me. I hate that kid so much.
And he died too.
Oh, I loved when he died.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when they brought him back to life. I was so upset.
It was such a weird way to bring him back to. He had to go to Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Batman had to go to Apocalypse.
Magic crystals and shit, and I was like, he was a clone boy, wasn't he? How is this the way we're bringing this guy back? Like, clearly there should be a Damien clone out there somewhere for a much easier storyline to get this kid back.
But it also, the reason I also don't mind Damien as much is because it also makes sense to me. I think eventually he would become Batman. I think Tim would have his own. I think Tim feels much more of his own man, and he would kind of go on his own way, kind of like Nightwing and kind of.
I agree. I don't think Tim ever wants to be Batman, and I could see Damien as Batman, and I don't think I'd mind it that much. I think I just really hate him as Robin because I don't think I'd mind him if his name wasn't Robin. Because I'm like, you know what Robins are? They're lighthearted and they don't murder people like you do. That's a big no-no for the Robin to-do list.
Yeah, but when you're trained by assassins, you don't really have a lot of like.
Give a damn. I
All
don't
right.
care. We have a very clear no-killing policy in the Bat family.
All right.
Damien has broken it several times. Yeah, if he was just some vigilante kid who was called something else, I wouldn't mind. But like, he's wearing the mantle of the Robins, and I think he like doesn't wear it well.
Okay. On that note, can you introduce yourself? Now we've got.
Now that you know my innermost thoughts about Robin.
We had to get that out of the way to establish a little bit who you are. Now we're gonna get a little bit deeper. So, give us your name and what it is that you do. The reason you're here.
I'm Diana McCallum. I'm the co-creator of the From Superheroes Network. So I'm the co-creator of Text from Superheroes, the webcomic. So if you've ever seen like a Photoshop of a text between two superheroes, I probably Photoshopped that and wrote it. So that's really taken off. We've been on crack.com, time.com. Robert Downey Jr. has shared our stuff a bunch of times. Clark Gregg has shared our stuff. Who plays Iceman? Which Ashmore is that? Whichever
Sean?
Ashmore played Iceman.
Sean? I think it's Sean.
Probably Sean.
The Canadian one?
They're both Canadian. They're twins. One of them wasn't born in a different country.
Well, it might have been the X-Men plot. I wasn't really paying attention. All right, whatever.
So Text from Superheroes is a really big thing. We're really proud of that. But we also do a YouTube channel called Sketch from Superheroes. So we do funny sketches about superheroes. And we have a podcast called Talk from Superheroes where the two of us just pick a superhero movie or TV show and we discuss it for an hour. So basically we're the one-stop place for all your superhero comedy needs.
Comics and stuff.
Comics and stuff. Yeah. We would fit in great on the newly minted Comics and Stuff podcast.
Fair enough. And what kind of came first for you as a little child? Was it the comics? Was it the comedy? Or like what was kind of like the first kind of creative spark that kind of floated into your life?
The first thing was Batman the Animated Series.
Oh,
Yeah. That's what got me into superheroes.
Paul Dini and Bruce Timm.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Amazing
gold
stuff.
standard.
That's the gold standard. But the greatest thing about the 90s was that on the same day you could watch Batman the Animated Series and then like 2 episodes of Batman 66 on YTV. So I'm getting like 2 hours of Batman every day as a kid. So I'm like, well, Batman is the shit. But we didn't have a comic book store in my hometown. I'm from New Brunswick, real small town. We didn't have a comic book store. So I would have bought comics. And I loved Batman, but I had a cousin who got his comics in the mail, like a savage.
Yeah.
No, it's super cool that he got comics in the mail.
But you miss out on the whole experience, though.
Of like going to the store and stuff.
Yeah, the
well,
smell
I mean, if your hometown doesn't have a comic book store, what are you gonna do? So he had comics and he had a huge collection and no one to talk about comics with because no one he knew was a big nerd. So he would just lend me stacks and stacks of Batman comics.
That's a good person.
And he was, well, I mean, he did it for selfish reasons. He wanted someone to talk about Batman comics with. But he had really great complete collections. So like he'd give me like Detective, Dark Knight, the whole original Nightwing run, the whole original Tim Drake run, which is probably why I love Tim Drake so much. Nightfall, Death in the Family. He gave me the Killing Joke probably too early. I don't think I was old enough to read that story.
Yeah, that goes. There's a period there where Batman goes super dark. Like Batman's always been a little dark, and then there's just like everyone's like, what if the Joker was just like real crazy and like he'll shoot Barbara and kill Jason in the same year? And wearing a Hawaiian shirt too. It was so disturbing.
Disturbing. So he would lend me tons of comic books for like just everything. I read hundreds of his comic books, so that got me really into it. And then in high school we did get a comic book store, and I got a pull list when I used I had a paper route and I used all my paper route money to buy comic books.
This is a classic story. Classic
tale. Like, I feel like I'm in like a movie that like just doesn't even make that, it seems unrealistic. Like you had a paper route to pay for your comic books. It's not the 1950s.
Yeah. Are you like battling monsters or something in your treehouse afterwards? And like...
No, I'm mostly just like in high school I drew for a bit, but I don't know why. I wasn't very good at it. I don't even know if I liked it. So I got rid of the drawing pretty soon. But I was always kind of just writing things. I wrote a lot of fan fiction. And
About Batman or in general or which
just
characters?
In general, but yeah, there was some Batman fan fiction to start. Oh, mostly Young Justice fan fiction. I loved Young Justice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Tim Drake leading a team of young superheroes.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Yeah.
I was so upset when that got canceled.
DC had a great run for animation there for like that window.
Oh yeah, because then like Justice League Animated came out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Justice League Unlimited as much. I was like, that's too many characters. I'm very young.
I thought they did a great job with Justice League Unlimited in terms of like they got good actors for each of the voices, even for some of the minor characters.
They really did. As an adult rewatching Unlimited, I'm like, this is really good.
It is really good.
As a kid, I was like, who are these people?
Why is there a cowboy all of a sudden in the middle of this mix and like?
Why is there a whole episode about Stargirl? I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
So I was real into all the cartoons, real into comics. I'm just writing like fan fictions and stuff. I loved Young Justice. And then I went to school for acting, and I was still like kind of writing on the side, and acting wasn't going great. I moved to Vancouver to pursue acting after I graduated. And it was, I just had a lot of downtime, and I started writing for Cracked.com, the comedy website. And I mostly wrote articles about comic books, because that's what I knew, and I liked comedy. And Batman 66 taught me that, like, comic book superheroes can be really funny if you do them right. So I wrote a lot for them, and then, just time went on, and I was really enjoying writing for the internet. I wrote for a bunch of other sites just in my free time, and I was making a little bit of money that way, but I really wanted something that was like mine, something that I made myself about comic books, and I couldn't draw, so I was like, well, what can I fucking make?
Yeah.
If you can't draw, you're not just gonna jump into writing DC Comics or Marvel Comics or anything. So then I saw Text from Dog, I don't know if Text from Dog is still around. It was just an old webcomic about a guy who texted his dog. And I was like, oh, I could make that about superheroes. I could just do texts from superheroes. That's easy enough. You just change the avatar image to a superhero. And it was really easy. And no one had done it before. And I was like, oh, that seems like something someone would have done. So
what year is this, roughly?
That was in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I asked my boyfriend at the time, and at the current time now, Andrew Ivemy, my co-creator, if he wanted to do it with me. And he said yes. And we just started writing texts and posting them. And they just slowly started to get more and more popular. And now they're like kind of an internet phenomenon. Everyone I tell pretty much every nerd I tell that I make this, they don't know who I am, but they know the thing I've made, which is a weird kind of fame.
That's kind of internet fame, though, isn't it?
It's kind of internet fame. I feel like it's an even weirder internet fame because there's like two of us who make the webcomic. Because I think most webcomics are one person. Like Ryan North does dinosaur comics. Kate Beaton does everything she does.
Yeah.
But we're a webcomic that has two creators, so I feel like people don't check who makes it as much, and like we don't put our name on it as much as other people. So it's still great. I mean, our product is popular, so what do we care if we're popular? We're kind of popular through our product. So
Keep your head up.
And then we just like we got kind of tired of just doing the text, so we're like, let's do a YouTube channel as well. Andrew's a stand-up comedian. We know like all the stand-up comedians in Toronto, so we're like, it's gonna be easy to get actors who are really funny. And the YouTube channel is really fun to do. We just write nerdy sketches about superheroes and try to come up with cheap ways to make costumes, which is sometimes very difficult.
Yes.
we're like, I think Tony Stark would be in a casual suit in this scene and not in the Iron Man armor.
There you go. Cut those corners.
Got to cut those corners. And then last year we launched our podcast, Talking Superheroes, and that's going really well too.
So back to the text for a moment. What's the creative process for that? Like, how do you have like a punchline idea or something, or like Iron Man sitting around talking to Thor? Like, do you have an image, or how does the whole thing get started?
It goes back and forth. Sometimes we're just talking and we have an idea and we'll just write it down, and then one of us goes aside later and makes it a full text. Sometimes we just write on our own. It's not often an image. It's usually us discussing something, and like we'll just do a funny voice, or we'll be watching like Avengers cartoons and we're like, wait a minute, Hawkeye has a weird arrow. Let's write a joke about that. It's really just things we talk about, and then they become text. Yeah, and we both have like different things that we're better at. Like I think I'm good at coming up with premises for the text, like the idea in general, and then Andrew's really good at the actual dialogue of getting the punches in there. So we're a good team like that. But it's a really hard job. We got to watch a lot of cartoons and a lot of superhero movies. Oh, it's real rough. It's not.
Are you, in terms of watching cartoons, are you watching? There's a lot of new stuff that's coming out now, but are you also going back and watching stuff too, or what's your diet like?
We'll watch. If there's no new stuff, we'll go back and watch old stuff. Like we just recently rewatched Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is so good.
Really?
Earth's Mighty, yes, because there's two Avengers shows.
Yeah.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes is so good, and Avengers Assemble is awful, and it's no fun, and I don't like it, and I can't believe they canceled Earth's Mightiest Heroes for that crappy show.
That's the way the system works, doesn't it?
That's the way the system works, and it's terrible, because that first show was great. We'll rewatch that. We'll just go rewatch things. Like, we've rewatched the X-Men 90s show through, like, 3 times. We've rewatched the 90s Spider-Man show, like, twice. But it's not even really for ideas. It's just for, like, we love these shows.
Yeah.
And we get ideas from them. But, it's just a great way to live. Thank you, Netflix.
Yeah,
basically. It so much easier.
It is making it easier. And DC now is cranking out just movie after movie after movie, like animated movie. So
they are, but they're not as good as they used to be. I'm not sure if I've really enjoyed an animated movie for a while that they've put out. Mostly because they all star Damian now. I think Justice League War was pretty good. Oh, the Aquaman one wasn't bad.
Oh, I didn't see Aquaman one.
The Aquaman one wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good. But yeah, like the other ones they're putting out, like all these Batman ones, they're no good at all. And I just really miss Bruce Timm. Although the next one is him. Yeah, him and Batman and Harley Quinn is a Bruce Timm one. So I'm like, fingers crossed, that's gonna be great. Yeah.
What was it about Batman? You kind of touched upon it a little bit, but you're watching Batman animated adventures. What was it about Batman that kind of spoke to you, or kind of like you connected with Batman?
I think I really like heroes that have to like earn their place. I've never been super drawn to anybody who just gets powers and didn't want to be a hero. I really like people who like want to help people. They have to work really hard for it. Like, that's why I love Batman. I love Robin. I love Iron Fist, although it's hard to love Iron Fist a lot these days because of Netflix's show. But like Iron Fist again had to like train really hard and work really hard. So I really like heroes that like have to put an effort in and be like, no, I wasn't just struck by lightning or born this way. I like made a choice to work really hard and help people. Like Daredevil's kind of the same. Yeah.
The Brubaker run, I was going to say, for Iron Fist.
Oh, the Brubaker run for Iron Fist is so good. I mean, even the new one, Power Man and Iron Fist, was really fun, too.
No, I did some of that. Was it Carrie Andrews or Carrie Andrews?
No, that was just the Iron Fist run. Was Carrie Andrews.
That was terrible.
Oh, that was awful.
So, It was, yeah.
It was,
Because it's just after nobody's really kind of captured that same karate magic, I guess, as the Brubaker run.
the Brubaker run was so good.
It was
especially,
very
like,
70s, even though it was modern. Like,
yeah, and it had fun, just like a good story, really well told, but like had fun elements of like Mortal Kombat when the seven cities started getting involved. And you're like, oh shit, this is intense, and like fun new characters, but there was still like stakes.
mhm.
Yeah, he did a great run.
Yeah.
But Brubaker knows what he's doing. He always does a great run.
And then, so you eventually get a comic book store, and then you
Well,
are
not my own, but there's one in the city.
You're one in the city, and you got your paper route now.
I
So,
got my paper out. I think I also worked at a bingo hall. I had a lot of jobs in high school.
man, these are classic jobs.
Bingo hall worker, yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
if that job still exists.
You need a runner though. What happens when somebody yells out bingo? Somebody needs to check it, don't
That
they?
was my job. I
Yeah, the
guess.
bingo runner.
I guess they're not going to get robots for that. No robots for bingo running.
Yeah, because then you could like hack the robot and then yeah, he got bingo for sure.
Yeah, all those old ladies at bingo hacking the bingo robot.
Yeah, you don't trust those old ladies. They all say they have arthritis, and then it's
They-
just a lie.
They are sketchy old ladies.
They are
They're like, they try to trick you. They're like, I paid for 10 tickets, and I'm like, I gave you 10. They're like, you gave me 5. I'm like, I gave you 10 tickets.
Yeah.
They want things.
That's the thing, though. Everyone takes the old ladies at their face value, but when you hang out in those places like the bingo hall, whatever, it's all like all bets are off.
Oh yeah,
like-
especially when they're like all together and they get rowdy and like, well, we're all gonna get away with it. We're all gonna get our free bingo tickets.
Yeah.
hmm
She looks like a sucker.
I did look like a sucker as a high school kid.
Yeah.
I mean, every high school kid does. Who's gonna say no to like an old grandma
Yeah.
being like, you owe me 5 more tickets, dearie? Not gonna be like, you're lying, grandma.
Yeah. I don't think you need that cane either.
Yeah. As an adult, I might say that. As a 16-year-old high school kid, I would not.
Fair enough. So you're got your paper out and you're in the comic book store. What did you graduate then from Batman then? What was kind of like the next couple of things that kind of caught your eye or kind of as you
Ooh,
progressed?
What did graduate? It was a lot of Batman, Bat Family, just like. So then, like, the natural progression was like the Tim Drake Robin run, Young Justice, as I said, which went into Teen Titans when that just the two titles kind of merged together in the early 2000s, I think. What else did I get? I got Nightwing, obviously, because whole Bat Family. I got weirdly into Fantastic Four, but I think I just had a crush on Chris Evans, and it like wafted over into what I was reading in the comic
Yeah.
books because he played like Human Torch in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's kind of late. I must have been reading something because that was 2005. What was I reading before that though? I think I just pick up like weird random titles. Like I loved Hitman. I loved Resurrection Man. Well, the Resurrection Man
Oh.
only had like 12 issues or
Yeah.
24 issues. Or
The
something.
irony of somebody that keeps coming back.
And
He can come back.
That's really funny.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Resurrection Man's amazing. Although they did try to relaunch him in the New 52.
I know.
I
was.
didn't like it.
I know.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah, they just didn't know what to do with him. Like,
No, you couldn't recapture that Garth Ennis feel.
Yeah.
Like there's something real special about him, and oh god, I can't remember his artist. Whoever Garth Ennis' artist usually is.
All right, we'll just let it go. But yeah, and then they would also do the cheesy thing too, where like they felt, I don't know if it was an editorial decision or whatever, but they always felt they had to kill him to in every issue. Like he
Oh.
wouldn't last more than an issue with
That
powers.
was what I loved though. No, that was the best part of the comic.
Well, no, I meant for like the New 52 run,
Oh, in the
especially.
New 52.
Yeah, they were just a little bit more over the top with how they would like kind of kill him and like, you know what I mean? Like he would like basically last like 2 or 3 panels, and they're like, okay, now we gotta kill him. It's like this like thing just falls on you now.
Oh, just randomly.
Yeah.
I think I only read like 3 issues. I wasn't enjoying
No, I read the
it.
whole thing. I
You read
checked
the whole thing?
Yeah,
How many issues did it get?
I think it might have gone up to 12 or 15, maybe 20.
Oh wow, that's more than I expected.
Yeah, I know it was more than I expected too. Yeah, like yeah, he kept coming back. So, but
Maybe we'll see him again. He's got a longer restitution period now
yeah,
than he
but
used
it's
to
a
have.
cool concept though.
It's such a cool concept. I would be so excited for every issue to be like, what are his powers gonna be? And I think like he would even like kill himself sometimes when his powers were shitty. He'd be like,
Yeah.
well, his power sucks.
Yeah.
Telepathy? What am I gonna do
yeah.
with this?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Would you ever like incorporate a character like that in your text because it's a little bit more of an obscure character, or is there kind of like those parameters you guys have?
We've kind of got a rule of we do 3 texts a week, and 2 of them have to be very accessible, like Spider-Man, Iron Man,
Yeah.
Batman. And then 1 a week we'll let ourselves get like real nerdy, and that text will never do well, but the real nerds will be like, this was a great joke.
Yeah.
Like one joke we had was like, I think the deepest cut we had was like, it was Cyclops and Cable, and Cyclops is dead, and the Starjammers, Corsair.
Corsair, yeah.
And like they got like no hits, but there was like 3 comments of like, this is the greatest thing I've ever read. I'm like, you 3 people are welcome for this Corsair joke that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
So we'll go obscure sometimes.
That's nice though. You're helping all the people though.
We're helping all the people. I mean, it's kind of even hard to get obscure these days. I remember when we first started, because it was 2012, and I wanted to write a lot of Iron Fist jokes because I love Iron Fist. But back then we were like, no one knows who Iron Fist is. And now just like 5 years later, it's like, oh no, everybody knows who Iron Fist is. He's got multiple books now. He's got a TV show. He's on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, which is not a bad cartoon.
Yeah, it's hard now also too, because I find like I get the same thing. A lot of civilians come up to me and they're like, "Who's this character?" Like when the last X-Men came out, like, "Who's Apocalypse?" And then it's like, I don't know how to put all that together.
Ooh, yeah. Who's Apocalypse?
Yeah, like even in some of the Avengers movies or whatever, like with Thanos and stuff, at the little kind
Thanos is hard. I'm not looking forward to explaining Steppenwolf to my family for Justice League. I'm like, I barely even know. Oh my God, who's Steppenwolf?
Yeah, and then you also want to just like like ramble like a drunk hobo and just like do like so Apocalypse was the first, and then you just don't want to like pull out the pointer and then the whole like.
Well, you also you kind of have to warn people. You're like, are you sure you're ready for the answer to this question, or do you want like a 1-sentence answer of who this guy is?
And then when you go see the movie, they only use like 2% of maybe a whole history.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You only need the 1-sentence answer for most movies.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. Yeah, he's got powers and nothing. Well, also like with Apocalypse especially, if anyone asked me to explain Apocalypse, nothing I told them would have been in X-Men Apocalypse because his powers were weird and bullshitty and he wasn't Apocalypse at all. So it wouldn't have mattered.
I mean, because we were just now in the bar just arguing about the new Deadpool movie coming up, and they got Cable in there, and there's a rumor that maybe Hope Summers would be in there, and it's just like, how do you incorporate all this Hope Summers stuff and like the Cyclops backstory and the time travel and the Messiah complex, and like,
it all just gets like kind of meshed down to its core. It's like Hope Summers can be called that, but she probably won't actually be like a Summers. But like, then again, time travel is hard.
But you need a special baby. You just can't time travel for a regular baby.
You can't. Not just any baby can time travel. You gotta have a special mutant baby Messiah.
A mutant baby's worth time travel. That should be a T-shirt.
Yeah, but it's gonna be rough because I mean, it's a lot to throw into one movie. Hope Summers and time travel and.
Purifiers and like
who was in Messiah Complex? That it wasn't Nimrod. It was Nimrod from the future.
That I
It was
remember.
one of those Nimrod-y guys.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it was like a robot called Sebastian or something.
Yeah, that
I
rings a
remember
bell.
because he killed Nightcrawler and I cried.
Yeah,
I cried on a plane. It was so embarrassing. I bought Messiah Complex as a trade because I've been waiting for the whole thing. And I'm on a plane, and like there's 2 people next to me, and I get to where Nightcrawler died, and there's tears down my cheeks, and I'm like, I am the most exposed you can possibly be.
It was his death that hit me hard. A lot of the I think almost every X-Men's now died at least once.
Oh man, you'd be more special if you hadn't died than if you had at this point. Has Storm died?
Maybe she hasn't.
Storm might be really holding on there.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting like infographic to see who.
The one time the black woman didn't die.
Yeah.
Is Storm.
Yeah, because I think
there might be like a one-shot where she died for like a few minutes. It's weird what you count as a death.
Yeah, and they also kind of like some of the characters fade away after a certain point. Like Kitty Pryde was up in the space, whatever. Where she hologrammed into that bullet or something.
Star-Lord. In the Whedon run.
Yeah,
that was great.
And so
that was such a great story.
She wasn't dead, but they kind of like wrote her off, and then like they kind of just moved on. We're like, well, that was fun. We'll miss her, and then they just kind of went on their way. I'm like, yo, but she's like,
where is she? Well, then she came back as a ghost for a while. Like she was stuck incorporeal.
Yeah.
I don't know how she became recorporeal, but she's normal again now.
I always regret, like, when I have those kind of things, I'm like, I don't remember how she became solid either. I always regret going back and, like, looking up on Wikipedia or, like, trying to find the issue because I'm like, that's how they did it? And it's always the dumbest thing. Like,
I mean, but Wikipedia is weird. It's weird when you read something on Wikipedia because it can feel really dumb reading it summarized, but it might not seem dumb when you read the comic. Because it also sounds really dumb that she was inside a giant bullet that was going to destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
But that was such a good story.
It was a good story, yeah.
But when you describe it, it's so stupid.
Well, yeah, and then the X-Men just leave her. I'm like, you have all the technology and all this gear, and you can't solve this?
I know, you got a guy who can control metals, and you're just like, no, that bullet's gone.
Like, yeah, we'll just write her off. We have other mutants.
She's way out of there. I'm like, you guys have so much... Like, get the Fantastic Four to go get her.
Yeah.
They have so many ships.
You have time travel.
I mean, they have time travel's so limited though. You have to know the right person. They have to be currently in the time zone that you're in.
Well, yeah, they screwed it over now because they brought in the original 5 again.
Ugh.
So that way, then they could do the whole like Jean and then she becomes Phoenix and like.
Yeah. I'm kind of okay with that. It's just so convoluted. I feel like an old lady to be like, when I was reading comics, they were so much more straightforward.
They weren't though. I started X-Men during Claremont's run without the internet, and so.
Well, that's the thing. When we didn't have internet, I feel like they couldn't make it so complicated because you couldn't reference anything. You couldn't go online and be like, where did this story even end? Because sometimes you just don't know because it was a crossover.
Yeah, and Claremont was just building and building and building for things, so he would just put in all kinds of seeds and like villain backstories and just the way he would shift things and like. I'm like, this is a lot of work. That's why like stuff like Batman and stuff was like really straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Well, Batman was straightforward. I think it felt straightforward to me because I picked up every Batman family issue. So, but I feel like I feel like you can't just read one Batman though. Like if you're just reading Detective, I think it crossed over way too much with other stuff. Like you would have maybe not been confused, but you would have missed out on stories ending at least. To be like, this was finished in Batman regular, not in Detective. It was like, oh, well, then I can pick up Detective.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to be a comic book fan. Thank God we have Wikipedia, so we don't have to pick up every issue.
Yeah. And then, of course, too, you also have, like, nerds. Like, 'cause I'll sometimes, like, I'll borrow stuff from a friend or whatever. Cause it's like,
thank God for each other.
Because sometimes it's like, I want to try this book, but I'm not 100% sold. I'm like, so.
And also the library's got an oddly great selection. I mean,
yeah, library's killing it.
For Toronto, there's great, and you can get, like, any book you want delivered to any library you visit. The library's freaking great, you guys.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm also not opposed to just like sitting in a comic book store and reading it and then putting it back on the shelf real quick.
The classic tradition, though.
Classic tradition.
Yeah.
Why do you have chairs if you don't want me to do this, Silver Snail? It's on you.
There you go. What is the? You mentioned like your boyfriend as well. He's kind of connected with the stand-up comedy scene, and for people that don't know, Toronto does have a really robust comic book community as well. How would you kind of like describe it, or how have you found it?
I found the comic book community like through several different means. When I met Andrew, he was already going to an event called Nerd Mafia that I don't think they do anymore. Nerd Mafia used to be like a hangout at a bar. It was near the Hard Rock. I forget which bar it was, but it was just like a bunch of nerdy people in the community who got together. So I met a couple people that way, but then it was mostly just like at cons. A big component of it was Comic Shop Ladies Night, which I'm actually one of the organizers for here in Toronto now. So when you go to Comic Shop Ladies Night, it's like, they close down the comic book store. It's just ladies in there. So just nerdy ladies just talking about comics, and we find out what each other does. You're like, I have a webcomic. I work at a different comic book store. I write books, and like I'm an illustrator. So you meet all these great ladies in Toronto, and then like they knew more ladies and some dudes, and also Fan Expo is a big part. We have some pretty good cons here. We used to have Wizard World. I don't know why they stopped coming here.
Yeah, why did they stop coming here?
Because they had, like, not a bad con. They had, like, Xander, and they had Julie Benz.
Yeah.
I remember, because it was the first con I went to in Toronto. Was actually Wizard World, not Fan Expo.
I've been to a couple of other Wizard Worlds in the States, like in Philadelphia and stuff like that, and they're just kind of like a fun con. I guess it's just like a relaxed one.
It was real relaxed. Yeah, it was just real easy to wander around and see everybody. So that was when I started, like, talking to people at booths. Was Wizard World, and then at Fan Expo, just talk to people at booths, and it's way easier when you like have something that you also create. So like if I go up to people, I'm like, I make text from superheroes, and they like kind of know what it is, and even if they don't, I'm like, I'm a creator as well.
I'm one of you.
I'm one of you. I swear. You can Google my website. Yeah. It's real. So yeah, it's just a matter of finding your people, because I mean because also, like, you don't even have to go to Fan Expo. Because, like, every time there's Fan Expo, there's also, like, nerd parties all around town. You can go to, what's the, Geek Noise? Is that what it's called?
Which one is that one?
Nerd Noise. Nerd Noise.
Oh,
Nerd
yes.
Noise is always the same weekend. So that's just, like, nerdy bands playing all weekend. That's a great one.
Netflix is throwing parties now, too, here.
Oh, yes. I missed out on the Daredevil one. I hear it was great. I had a friend who went. She's like, this is like an abandoned church, and they're playing the Daredevil shows on the wall. I'm like, oh, my God, why did I miss this?
Yeah, it was
great.
fun.
It's fun, yeah. So really, yeah, just go on Facebook and like try to find like one event and then one nerdy event, and then all the suggested events after that will also be very nerdy events. Yeah. It's great.
You're going to be at Fan Expo this year.
I am going to be at Fan Expo this year. It's my first year as a guest. I actually usually go as press. Just do like
high five for being a guest.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited. I usually just go and do some interviews for the podcast, but yeah, we're doing a panel called what's it called? Starting Your Geeky Career Online. So it's us. Me and Andrew are talking about from superheroes. Luke Gordon Field, the creator of the Beaverton, is on the panel as well. So he created
Pretty clever.
He's very smart. He created the website, and he also is the showrunner of like the TV show The Beaverton. And then also Will Perkins will be on the panel. He is the owner of Dork Shelf and of Art of the Title. And Art of the Title is an amazing website. If you haven't gone, they talk to the creators of like famous title sequences in movies and TV shows, and it's so interesting stuff. Like, speaking of Deadpool, they interviewed like the guys who made that crazy Deadpool opening for the movie, where it's just like the still image and you just wrap around everyone with those hilarious credits going by. They did a really great piece on it. They get exclusive stuff. So if you like title sequences or art or graphic design, check out Art of the Title. And yeah, I don't know what day our panel is, but check your schedule.
And you also be actually, I don't know. It'll be out October, right? You'll be pimping
February.
February.
I think I think you can pre-order it in October.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit on the trolley.
No, that's fine. I mean, the pre-orders are so early these days. I'm
Yeah.
like, why is it available in October? Like, you're gonna forget you ordered it.
Yeah, it just comes in the mail. What was this? I was waiting for
What was
Resurrection Man.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably pre-order Resurrection Man, but it won't come out until like 2020.
Yeah. So explain this project that we're talking about, like, because there's a whole bunch of, I think it's all ladies, right? It's all.
The first one was all ladies. So it's an anthology from Dark Horse. I was in the first one called Secret Loves of Geek Girls. So it's all just true stories from some happy, some sad, some just medium of ladies talking about dating and geek culture and like their stories with dating. And there's prose and there's comics and there's poems and there's everything. And it's a great anthology from Dark Horse that came out a year and a half ago now. But there's a sequel coming out called The Secret Loves of Geeks, and they just took the girls off because it's girls and guys this time.
Yeah.
So this time it's girls and guys, but I'm also in the sequel. So that's coming out from Dark Horse. And there's like a lot of great people in it. Margaret Atwood's in it. I think Marguerite Bennett came back. She was in the first one. I know more of the girls in the first one.
I think is in it.
Hope Nicholson is the editor who puts it all together, and I think she probably has another piece in this one. And she is fantastic. I love Hope Nicholson. She does great. She does great Kickstarters for great comic books anthologies all the time. So she's putting it all together. So that is available for pre-order in October, and it comes out in February. And I'm really excited. I can't wait to have 2 books on my shelf that I've been in. So I'm really, it'll be just a fun read about like nerdy, geeky dating. And like you'll find just stories you relate to and maybe stories you don't relate to, and you'll learn a little thing. Hope's really good at getting really diverse writers. So like the first one was all girls, but it was like different races, different ages. It was like there was like a 13-year-old and there was like a 65-year-old, trans girls, non-binary. So like there's something for everyone in these books. It's so fantastic. You never feel alone if you've got a secret loves book. So I think they're really, really good books for that.
Cool. Where can people find you online?
Online, I am on Twitter at Words of Diana, or I'm usually just on the @FromSuperheroes account. I have a Tumblr, which I think is also called Words of Diana. It's mostly just like Bucky pictures, so you don't need to visit that. There's a little bit of Robin and Iron Fist in there, but yeah, mostly just my and I've got a Facebook fan page, but whatever. It's mostly Twitter. Words of Diana. Check me out.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun. I love that you like opened with the Robin starter. That's the best way to open.
That's it, right? We got right to the dirt,
right to the important stuff.
Yeah, but we did do comics and stuff. Like,
comics and stuff.
We covered it, right?
Podcast does not have the right name.
No, I know. I'll have to go rebrand it. Thank you for coming in and hanging out and talking comics and stuff, and Robin and Fan Expo and other nerdy. Your paper route.
My paper route. I wonder who's doing it these days.
You should go back.
I should go back home and be like, just scope it out. See who's delivering those papers.
See how their wrist is.
Give them hints. You can't throw the paper.
It's too heavy now, eh?
Well, no, you have to, because it can get wet and destroyed. You're supposed to go up to the door and put the paper in the door.
Oh, you care. You're one of the ones who care.
No, like you're supposed to. Like that's your job. Or they're going to rat you out to the paper police or somebody.
Okay, on that note, we got to end there. I don't know if there's a paper police or not.
We'll find out.
We're gonna leave it right there. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm your host, Sammy Younan, and this has been My Summer Lair.